everyone, so welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today I was very inspired to do another smoky eye. I've been wearing them a lot lately, I know. I'm usually one to wear more natural sort of, just more, I guess, wearable looks. Even though this is very wearable, I didn't throw any false eyelashes because I didn't feel like I needed them, but it's definitely something that you can do if you wanted to. But I'm using a new palette. This is the BH Cosmetics Enhancing Eyes palette. This is the one that's made for green eyes. Brown-eyed girls can wear pretty much anything, but if you are looking for a really intense sort of purple smoky eye that's not like dark deep purples, these are definitely brighter purples, and I'm using these two here. This one comes off a little deep on camera, but honestly it's a very beautiful kind of purple, like a jewel tone purple that has a hint of pink underneath. I don't know, I'm just picking up a little hint of like a pinky magenta purpley sort of vibe. I know that's probably weird description of the color, but it's really pretty. And this is what they look like. That's that main color that I'm using. Here it is over a purple base. Here it is on its own and over black. And I show you an up close of this in the tutorial, so you can see if you don't have the purple base, you can just supplement it for something that you have in your collection. But I really love this look. It's nice and smoky, very sexy, and it's purple. Who doesn't love purple eyeshadow, right? So I hope that you guys will enjoy this look, and if you want to see how to do it, then stay tuned because I'm showing you exactly how to recreate the look. Okay, so to save time, I've already applied my eyeshadow primer. It's the Urban Decay one. It's going to be listed down below for you. And I'm going to start by applying a purple base. And I'm using the NYX Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil in Purple Velvet. It looks like this. And I'm just going to apply this to my lid and staying onto the lower lid and applying a thin layer because these do crease even if you have a primer underneath. And I'm going to blend this out with my finger. And you could also use a brush if you wanted to just kind of swipe it and then kind of apply it. Just make sure it's a synthetic brush. If you don't have this jumbo shadow pencil, don't go out and buy it just for this look. Use the purple liner if you've got one, or if you don't, then black would also work. Here they are. This is with the purple base on its own and with a black base. So that gives you kind of an idea of what it can look like. So, alright, moving on. I'm going to apply a little bit of color into my crease. I'm going to use this shadow called Leather and Lace by NYX, and this is what they look like. And I'm going to use a big fluffy brush and just kind of messily throw it onto my crease, just because I want to kind of start a sort of transition color so that I don't go up too high with the purple. For my brow highlight, I'm going to use this Vanilla Matte color by Smashbox. It's part of the mini box palette that I have reviewed on my blog. Applying that with an angled brush. And I'm going with a matte highlight because everything is so intense on the eye. I don't want to have something super sparkly. Okay, now moving on to the lid. I'm going to start by applying the shadow with a flat eyeshadow brush, one that picks up a lot of color. Think of something that's kind of similar to a concealer brush. And then I'm going to go in with this purple from the Enhancing Eyes palette by BH Cosmetics. This is the one for green eyes. And it's this beautiful purple. Oh, and by the way, I don't have any concealer or face products because there was just a small amount of fallout. Got it on my crease. Okay, and I'm just kind of pulling my eye a little, bit taut like that so that I can really get into this area. And you want to tap off the excess because these are definitely powdered. Look, I have it already on my face. So stay on the lid with that color because it's very intense. Then I'm going to take that same fluffy brush and kind of just go over it just to soften it because we're going to add a little bit of a sort of brown color. And what's really cool about this is the fact that even though it's a brown shade, it created like a pinky purple sort of crease, which is nice because it's been a while since I've done pink and purple together, but it ended up being that way. And the color that I use is a matte nude color, and that's the actual name of it from this palette from Smashbox. And as you can see, it's a very light tan color. And I'm taking that on the tip of a Sigma E25 brush. And I have purple shadow everywhere. And then I'm going to start going around the edges of that purple and just kind of start to blend this out. As you can see, it's already starting to take on that sort of pinky color. I wasn't intending that to happen. I didn't know that was going to happen, so lovely surprise. And then I'm going to go back in with that same fluffy brush and kind of soften this out. And then I can also take some of that matte highlight shade and go around this as well and pull it downwards if you get it up too high. And there's tons of fallout. I have purple all over my face. Oh my gosh. I think I might have picked up a little too much. Alright, so I'm going to start by incorporating some of the color down to the lower lashes. I'm going in with an angled brush with the same purple that I used on my lid. And I'm going to pull this down on my lower lash line. And I'm going to do it very thick on this outer part. And then I'm also going to bring it in closer to the root of the lash as I come into the inner part of the eye. And just do it lightly. So thin and then thick. And connect it up into this purple here. I know it might look messy, but we're going to fix it. And I probably have some shadow in my eyeball. Then I'm going to go in with this brush. This is a Sigma E56 brush. It looks like that. I'm going to go in with the purple that's a little bit lighter and a bit of a brighter purple. Again, still shimmery just like the one that I'm using. Whoa, there's lots of fallout in here. And I'm going to be applying this to the inner part of the eye and sort of bringing it onto the inner third of the lid, so it creates a bit of a different tone of purple when you layer them both together. And then just kind of flip the brush over and kind of pat where they meet so it's not a harsh line. And I'm also going to take that same color and I'm going to apply that to the inner part of the eye and meet up into this purple that we applied the lower lash line before. Now I'm going to start applying some of the darker shades, and I'm going to go in with a little bit of this plummy kind of purple color. It's a deep chocolatey plum shade and it's matte. And again, with that same brush, I'm just going to wipe it off really well. Take up just a little bit of that and start applying this to the outer part of the eye. Then I'm going to go back to that liner and apply some of this gray color. So this color, when I first swatched it, it looks gray, but it has a hint of a purple tone in there, so I feel like it works really well. I'm going to take some of that and go on to the lower lashes right over that purple. And then with a pencil brush or something small like this, this is the Outer V brush by Makeup Geek. I'm going to go in with that same plum shade right in here, tapping off the excess, and I'm going to apply this to the outer part of the eye just to kind of deepen everything up on this outer part. As you can see, it's very dark here. And I'm just kind of going in circular motions with the brush, and I'm not going in too far. And I want to continue to have that sort of rounded shape, so I'm just going to kind of pull this down with a clean brush. And we'll clean the edges out here in a moment. Okay, and then I'm going to sort of mix two shades together, the plum brown shade and then the gray, just a little bit. And kind of place this right on the lower part of the outer V, the actual lid part, and kind of connect those two together down here. And then I feel like I went up a little too high with this, so I'm going to go back in with my fluffy brush and some of that highlight shade, the nude skin tone color, and pull this down. And then I'm also going to go right on the outer part, kind of work this back and forth just to help soften any harsh lines and clean this up as well before I go in with concealer. Now I'm going to do some sort of like tight lining really quickly, and I'm going to apply the Ardency and Modster liner in black, my upper waterline and my lower. Alright, so then what I want to do is kind of create a bit of smokiness with some more of the gray, which is from the same palette, and an angle liner brush. And what I'm going to do is get really, really close to where the edge of that liner is on my waterline and kind of press this color right into the root of the lash, just to kind of deepen it up and kind of smoke it out just a little bit. Then I'm going to take that red, like kind of plummy brown and that same gray shade, and I'm going to kind of just place it onto the lid just to make sure that, with the same brush, it doesn't really matter, just to make sure that it is really dark and deep right here. And this brush from Zoeva is like perfect for that, because you can see I concentrated that color right there where I wanted it. Okay, so before I do anything else with liner, I have to clean up this mess. And I'm taking just a piece of my makeup wipe. This is a simple makeup cleansing wipe. And I'm going to get rid of all of the purple that's fallen down. That's the only one bad side of this so far. And I'm going to pat that dry with a piece of tissue so that I can quickly go in with some of my concealer. And I'm going to go in with my Pixi Brightening Peach. This is the correction concentrate. It looks like that. And I love applying it with this little micro beauty blender, especially that I already have my eyes done. The tip of this really allows you to get right in there. And I'm using this little sponge dry. I know you're supposed to use it wet, but I didn't feel like getting up. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of that. Then I'm going in with some of my Maybelline concealer. This is just to fit me in the shade Light. Just put a little bit. You don't really need much with that Brightening Peach. I feel like it does work to cover most of my issues. And then I'm going to set my under eye area with the e.l.f. HD Under Eye Setting Powder. It's like a little cube like this that I found at Walmart. And I'm using an egg-shaped brush like this. This is the one from Sigma. And I'm going to set this before moving on to anything else. Alright, for liner, I'm going to use my Kat Von D liquid liner. This is a mini one that I have from a set that I got during Christmas that I haven't even used. My first time opening this one up. But this is a very good liner because it's got a really fine point. And so what I've done is I've gotten really close to the root of my lash and kept it really, really thin, and then a little bit of a wing. But I didn't want a super thick line. Now, if you want a really thick line, by all means go for it. I just wanted something super thin because that's just, I don't know, what I prefer. So I'm going to apply this and then we'll move on. And then for mascara, I'm going to use my usual two mascaras, but I'm trying this new primer. This is the Diorshow Maximizer Base Mascara Lash Primer that I got from Sephora with 100 beauty points while I was there a few weeks back. And I'm going to apply this and then lots of mascara to the upper and lower lash line. Alright, so now that the eyes are done, I just kind of want to tell you what I'm using on the rest of my face. I've been cutting these parts out to try to keep the videos a little bit shorter than usual. But for my contouring, I use the NYX HD Blush in Taupe, and I have been using this with a fluffy brush, but I decided to try my new all over face brush by BH Cosmetics, which is very small and very sort of rounded and soft. And I feel like this may not be the right tone for me when I use something so dense like this, but something fluffy that's much lighter, I think it'll work. But anyway, that's what I have on for my contour. And then just to kind of add a little bit of warmth to my skin, because, you know, I'm super pale, and then really dark eyes on fair skin makes you look a lot more pale. So what I decided to do was add a little bit more color, and I used the Maybelline Dream Wonder Powder. This is in the shade Caramel, number 90. And I know this is not quite my ideal shade, like skin tone color, but I use this to kind of add some warmth to my skin in place of my bronzer. My blush is, oops, dropped a brush. My blush is the Makeup Geek Infatuation, which is a very warm tone blush. It's one of my very favorites. I use this all the time. Like, this blush can do no wrong. It goes with absolutely everything, and I felt like it tied in that sort of warmth that I needed with such dark eyes. So I really, really like that. And then, of course, my highlight, which is the most exciting part for me, is Mary Lou-Manizer by TheBalm. Packaging looks like this. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous highlight. It's like, the first time I used this, the first word that came to mind was yummy. I don't know. It's weird to use words like that to describe makeup, but I was like, oh, this looks yummy. So that's what I have on for highlight. Then for my lips, I'm using a Bite Beauty. This is a Luminous Cream lipstick, and I'm using the shade Date. So I'll do a little swatchy swatch for you there. It's just like a nice nude, but it has like a sort of neutral sort of nude. It's not too light like a concealer type of nude, and it's not too deep. I wanted something very soft, but still had that sort of, I don't know, like that sort of pink undertone, because I feel like those types of nudes are much more wearable than something that completely washes you out and looks like you used concealer. And then for my gloss, I topped it off with the Supermodel gloss by BH Cosmetics, and I actually really like these. I know I haven't had these for very long, and I mentioned these products in my unboxing video, which is linked for you below, that I posted, I can't remember, a few days ago maybe. I love this. It's like a nude, but it has a bit of a pink to it, and it's not sticky. It's very pigmented and super, super glossy. Like, I really, really like this sort of glossiness, and I don't know, I'm just a gloss girl, so I love it. I think it goes really well with that Bite Luminous Cream lipstick. So that completes the look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I know it's a little bit sort of darker and deeper, but I've been doing a lot of smoky eyes, I should say, a lot lately, and I just felt like using that purple because that's the reason, one of the reasons why I bought that palette. So thank you guys so much for tuning in for the video. Everything that I use will be listed, even products that I didn't show in the video will be listed for you down below, with a couple links if I remember to put them down there. And if you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, it's iGlamour by Lexi. I would love to connect with you there as well. Have a fabulous day, and I will see you in my next video.